Alright, welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a break from our Underdark explorations and level up Astarion and start removing some of the opposition that we have left behind us. So we'll pop back to our main character and head to camp.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
And we're going to invite Astarion back into the party and replace Gale. He's got a surprise for us when we chat with him, though.
You know, I've been thinking, and I think there's something I should tell you. Nothing big or terrible, just a small little detail about me that hasn't come up naturally. It's just that I happen to be what's the best way to put this? A vampire.
And his disguise is absolutely terrible. He's got fangs and bite marks on his neck and red eyes. So we're just going to say, obviously.
Right. Well, glad we got that out the way. So, was there anything else?
And we're going to invite him into the party.
If you lost a follower or two, I prefer to travel in smaller groups. It's more intimate. Well, in that case, I'm all yours.
All right. So Astarion is our best thief, and we'll walk through really quickly the strategy we're going to use with Volo. So we're going to put on the gloves of thievery. We're going to equip the guidance amulet. We're going to equip the smuggler's ring. We're going to equip the shapeshifter's boon ring. We'll disguise ourselves to get that bonus. We'll cast guidance. We're going to step behind Volo and go into turn-based mode. So we can see that the target here is 5, but we've got a bunch of bonuses and we're rolling 2 dice. So we should have no trouble looting basically everything in Volo's inventory. It's a little time consuming to be clicking so much. We don't want to just go nuts and click all the buttons all at once, because if we fail to check, Volo will notice and he'll get upset and run away. If we are too clicky, he can actually aggro. So we're going to try and steal the gold. That's the iffiest of these. And then we're going to level up Astarion and fill his inventory again. So for spells, we can take any of these. Because Astarion's difficulty number isn't very high, it doesn't really matter which of these we would take. None of them will be good. So we can replace a spell. We will replace sleep with Featherfall, giving us the ability to get around, which is very important. And again, taking alert as our first feat. Now, if we just cycle the turns, you see that Volo's got restocking. And we're stealing scrolls that we won't cast because they're worth money. We can also take as many camp supplies as we might need, so we'll never have to collect any of the food items in the game. And we could level up Shadowheart and the rest of the party, and we'll do that later in a big robbing spree with Volo. I just want to show off how that works functionally. We're going to exit turn-based mode, and we're going to pop out to the Blighted Village. And it looks like we grabbed more than we wanted to here, so we'll have Alfira jump back to the Selûnite outpost for now. And we're going to spec out Astarion for combat. Rogues and Gloomstalker Rangers have a feature that allows them to hide as a bonus action rather than a full action, and that's what we're going to use for this combat here. So we're going to equip the Gloves of Archery we purchased from the Goblin Trader originally. It does allow us to do a little extra damage, but that's not actually why we care about it. We care about it because it gives us proficiency with longbows. We have a longbow that we would like to use, the Titan String Bow, which allows us to add our strength modifier to damage, which doesn't look great with our strength of 8, but we just looted a stick that, if we equip it, gives us a strength of 19. So now we're a little more set for damage. Because we're not stealing right now, we can get rid of the Smuggler's Ring and replace it with a Caustic Band. This does add to our stealth if we needed it, and the Shapeshifter's Boon will persist even after we take it off, so we're actually going to replace the Caustic Band. And that, we don't need the Ring of Flinging or any of these others. Don't provide us with any particularly useful boons for this combat. So having decked ourselves out more for combat, we'll head up the ladder. Additionally, if we're really looking to do some stealth archery, we did loot this armor, which provides a +1 bonus to stealth. And a slightly cooler look. So at the top here we find these 3 ogres, and we're going to start combat with them. So we'll go into turn-based mode, and we're going to walk up to just around the edge of this, and you can see we've got a shot now at their feet. And that's where we're going to start. So our primary target is going to be Lump the Enlightened, and then we'll move on to the other ogres. And you see that they're all surprised. We're going to use our bonus action to Cunning Action Hide. You can see that their sight doesn't show this area, so they won't be able to see us. Take another shot. And we'll step back off of this section that can be collapsed and hide again. Lump's first action is always to cast Blur. The rest of the ogres would love to pound us, and usually when you hide during combat, the enemies will try to approach this outlined location where you're at, but we're so many rounds of movement away from that that they don't know how to get there.
Let's find some prey.
So this works pretty well when the enemies have targeted ranged attacks, but not area of effect ranged attacks. You see the damage that we're getting out of the strength club combined with the bracers combined with the bow that adds both dexterity and strength is really high. So even against targets that have 75 hit points, it's taking us 3 or 4 shots.
Leave no trace.
And this gimmick can be applied to the Minotaurs in the Underdark and a lot of other targets in the game.
Into the shadows. Come on then. Let's have a little fun. Sounds like fun. Just like old times.
And we've got 1 or 2 more shots, and we'll wrap this particular combat up. All right. Now, there's also a bunch of goblins. These goblins in the back were not counted as defeated when we talked our way into the camp. We've got 2 guards at the gate and a few more over here. And we'll do basically the same thing. Just shoot them until they die.
Delightful. Let's be quick.
So, again, this elevated position is great for us. Looks like we've got one of the goblins coming up to investigate.
Ready or not. That might be worth a look.
And they're over here kind of looking around. And we'll go into turn-based mode just to lock them in place.
You sort of fight.
Oh, we missed. All right, so serious situation when we miss. We're going to have to back into this little area
Time to move.
and crouch down.
Subtle approach.
All right, so we're going to run up, and Astarion has this buff Vampire Bite that allows us to do a little bit of damage and heal, and we get a bonus for until we rest again. So we're going to use that. And we get our happy buff. We're going to take the more dangerous opponent and just throw them. Because we're using this club, we're super strong. But we may get shot once here.
This should work.
And that's that. Missing is like that sometimes. It's hard to predict. There's a little bit of random element to the game. Now, we care about looting the ogres, so we're going to head down and do that. On the way, let's make sure that we
Watch the shadows.
get this guy, the goblin brawler. So we're going to crouch down, walk over, turn-based mode, so we get some surprise on him. And that's that. The last combat we'll do here in the Blighted Village will be with the sleeping bugbear. But before that, we want to loot from Lump the Enlightened here the hat that he's wearing that makes him enlightened. So this sets your intelligence to 17. We're going to use this on the main character to increase the bar's knowledge skills for the knowledge test that we'll make throughout the game. So we'll head back over here, and remember all of these goblins we already have experience points for. And because we've got a super high strength, we can just jump on top of the roof.
Let's keep to the shadows.
And surprise this bugbear.
Ready or not?
So we're crouching not because it's going to be able to act, but because it gives us advantage on the next attack. And that's it. So at this point, we're going to head with Astarion sort of in combat mode back to the Underdark Beach. And we're going to grab position for the next thing we're going to do with them. So we're going to go way up here to the top. And he's going to path there automatically.
I need to rest. The sunset can't come quickly enough.
So if we cut over too far here, the hook horrors in this area can see us, but because we're coming over to the left as we're coming down, Astarion should cut and not be in the sight radius of any of the hook horrors. We're going to use this position to shoot down into this area to clear out the dwarves. And the path to get here is so convoluted that while we're hiding, they're not going to be able to figure out how to come get us. And we'll take care of that in the next video. I will see you there.